Another chapter of the 114-year-old history of the Mann Cup is about to be written. Welcome to the 2024 Mann Cup Championship live here on Cable 14. Tonight, it is Game 1 between the Six Nations Chiefs and the Victoria Shamrocks. Mark Perry alongside Pat Gregoire. Glad to have you in here on this Friday night, and it's a battle of titans between these two teams. Both of them going undefeated during the regular season. Going to the playoffs, faced a little bit of adversity, but here we are, the final two teams remaining for a national championship.
45-4. These two teams combined record between the regular season and the playoffs. You've got the defending champ in the Six Nations, certainly a roster littered with NLL talent, NLL Hall of Famers, NLL MVPs, and on the other side, a very tough opponent as well. Victoria going undefeated in the regular season. They're young, they're athletic, and they have a couple superstars up front as well.
And I mean, that can't be underscored, right? You look at the Six Nations Chiefs, like you said, they're littered with so many future Hall of Famers, so many championships amongst all of them. But the Victoria Shamrocks, they have so much talent on this team as well. And, you know, we were talking about it before the broadcast. Not necessarily household names, but they pack a punch.
They certainly do, and they will be household names soon. They do have a couple. Clark Peterson just coming off a 100-point season in the National Lacrosse League. You got the King brothers, Jesse and Marshall, both of them having phenomenal WLA seasons, both of them having over 100 points each between the playoffs and the regular season. So the talent's there. Casey Wilson, a young up-and-coming star. Trent DeChico, you're going to be hearing his name this fall at the NLL draft. The talent is there. And, of course, we cannot forget Chris O'Riglieri, one of the best young goalies. Now we're not even saying one of the best young goalies in the game. He is now etching his name in that elite status as well.
Yeah, I mean, 19 years of age and already playing an NLL game. He's gotten a couple of years under his belt now. 7 Mann Cups for the Six Nations Chiefs. It seems like for the WLA side, it's kind of an uphill battle in a sense, because you look at history and they haven't won in Ontario since 1986. It is a long drought for the WLA here in Ontario. Quite simply, how do the Shamrocks get it done here in Ontario here in 2024?
I think it's got to be those young legs. They've got to be the more athletic team. They have to grind this thing out. Of course, like we said, we know the talent, we know the veteran presence that this Chiefs team has. I think they've really got to lean on their superstars. Jesse King's a guy that's won an NLL championship. He's been in these moments before. I think you have to have your superstars, but it's going to be a complete team effort. This is a great team. They went 18-0 in the WLA, only lost 2 games in the playoffs. They're not worried about anything. They're not worried about what's going on outside of this series when it comes to all the drama that we know about. They've earned this chance. They have earned the opportunity to fight for a Canadian National Championship. They'll let the managers, they'll let the board, they'll let the commissioners worry about that. They're going to take care of business on the floor here tonight.
We'll touch a little bit on some of that drama as this game unfolds, because there was a lot of it. And it's unfortunate, too, because, you know, you're going into a national championship and, you know, all the talk is what's happening off the floor. And, you know, that's not where you want your head to be going into a national championship. I was talking with a couple of the Shamrocks players before this game, and, you know, quite simply, their head is completely in here for game number 1, where it should be.
Would it be great to add a Swiss Army knife like Mike Messenger, an unbelievable talent, the WL MVP in Will Malcolm? Sure, that would be great. But the roster that got to them this point, that's who they're rolling with, and they have that trust. They have that belief. And the same goes for Six Nations. They're not worried about who they're facing. They're worried about themselves. If they play their game, they're confident they can defend their title on home turf.
And for Six Nations as well, another player that hasn't played since, you know, round number 2 in the playoffs, you know, due to some off-field stuff, is Austin Stotts. So it's not like they're not working at full strength either. Stotts led the team in scoring during the regular season, but they found a way to get to this point thanks to a lot of the players stepping up and filling in those roles, namely a Dane Smith, who, you know, he was for some reason, under the top 5 during the regular season when it comes to team scoring. Catapults himself and really comes up in the best moments like he usually does to get them to this point with that victory over Peterborough in the MSL final.
He was outstanding during the postseason, playing more of a transitional role for this Chiefs team during the regular season, which just goes to show you how good of a lacrosse player he is. Now he's playing a little more offense, and you can see this offense has become completely different.
We're going to go to the floor, the anthems, and then we'll have game 1 of the Mann Cup. A packed house here at the ILA as we're having a little bit more of our pregame ceremony here ahead of game number 1.
Both captains, please report to center floor for tonight's ceremonial ball drop. And tonight we're pleased to welcome back 2 former Six Nations Chiefs. Please welcome to center floor, Craig Point and Sid Smith. Fans, one more time, let's hear it for Six Nations Chiefs alumni. And now, please welcome to center floor, Mr. Cam Hill and the Six Nations Smoke Dancers. again your Six Nations smoke dancers. Tonight's officials, Mr. Chris Williams, Mr. Brandon Hessen, Mr. Lee Bryan.
All of the pregame festivities have concluded. It is game time here at the Mann Cup. Both teams gathering in each other's creases. Bit of a last-minute pep talk ahead of game number 1 here at the Mann Cup Championship. Mark Perry, Pat Gregoire here inside the broadcast booth at the ILA. Glad you can join us on this Friday night. It'll be in goal tonight. Doug Jamieson against Chris Orglieri. That's a matchup.
It certainly is. And Doug Jamieson coming off such an incredible NLL season. He carried that momentum right in to the MSL series and season. And boy, what a tandem Six Nations has. And I guess now we can call it a triplet of goaltenders, as Dylan Wards is listed as the third goalie, not dressed here tonight. Warren Hill will be the backup tonight. But Chris Orglieri, just a young, up-and-coming goaltender, who has made his path in the game of lacrosse.
So we are underway here at the ILA. Tyler Biles will scoop it up and send it up to Brian Cole. The whistle's going to go, and it's going to be a turnover. Now, Orglieri, an 0-2 born, a late 0-2, yet has found himself as quite the future holder in San Diego.
Yeah, 4-year deal. The Seals basically gave him the keys, and this is his net, and he's taken full advantage of it.
That was a good save made by Jamieson. Early pressure there by the Shamrocks.
A great chance from Matthew Gauthier. Another one of these young players, a couple NLL seasons under his belt.
Eli McLaughlin trying to cut in, tried to find the top corner, but just missed. 9 on the shot clock. Smith over, shot. A one-hopper's going to go up high. And here come the Shamrocks back the other way.
Shamrocks littered with great athletes out the back door. They like to play fast. They like to push the tempo. They also like doing that on the offense as well.
That shot is blocked. It's going to be scooped up. And here comes Brendan Bomberry up the other way. He'll turn back and try to slow things down. And I'm imagining, Pat, that might be a bit of a strategy here in this series. Try to slow down the pace a little bit and don't get into a run and gun with a team that's, really made for that kind of game.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mark. I think when you look at the offensive talent that Six Nations has, they're going to want to slow it down. They want to break the game up into both halves. Defensively, they're going to play tough. They're going to play hard-nosed. They do like pushing the pace, but I think they're going to want to try to slow things down, muck it up.
Shamrocks looking for some pressure here. The backhand pass. It's knocked down. Still a loose ball. Pickup's going to pick it up. It's got the ball here. Throws it on goal. That's going to be stopped. A refresh on the shot clock, and another save made by Jamieson. Peterson with another opportunity, and Jamieson stands tall there yet again. I don't think he saw that rebound, but he knocked it out anyway. On the far side, there's a shot. That one goes wide. Those Travis Longbow getting in there. Hammered into the boards. Max Wilson takes his man in. Loose ball, and here come the Shamrocks back the other way. Liam Phillips will leave it back here for Patrick Dodds. Dodds on the near side, gets it over. Marshall King, number 3. Dodds takes a look, tries to find some space, can't find it. Good defense there from the Chiefs. The captain now, Jesse King, takes a shot. It's blocked before it reaches the net. A pair of Shamrocks were down, and here come the Chiefs the other way. Fast break, Jeremy Thompson turns back around, over, Sundown, passing it in, shot, and a knockdown there as Bennett Smith takes his man down on that opportunity. Break the other way. Preston over. Shot stopped by Jamieson. Couple of quick chances going either way.
I know we said Six Nations gonna.
Oh, Smith takes him down.
That's Steve Perillo, not a easy player to knock down, to say the least. That's our.
She's pressing. Dane Smith tried to go for a spin cycle there, still has it. 6 on the shot clock. Over to Eli. The Liger looking for some space. Pacing it in, and Jackson is stopped there by Origlieri.
Perfect two-man game, played to perfection with the lefties there. Just Shane Jackson not able to beat Origlieri. He's so big, he plays his angles well, but he's supremely athletic there. He doesn't really have to do anything as Jackson just puts it right in the 5-hole.
Shot there from Cole Pickup. It's going to bounce off a body and into the Chiefs bench, and there will be a fresh shot clock to work with here for the visitors from British Columbia.
Well, you've watched this team all season long. Six Nations defense not afraid to block shots, get in lanes. They've done a great job early on.
Passing inside, knocked down there, loose ball. What a job there from Kellen Leclerc.
It's going to be an illegal cross-check, though.
And Leclerc will have to sit about this one. And first power play of the Mann Cup is going to go to Victoria.
Yeah, we'll see here. Everything's fine with that cross-check there. It's when he's on the ground, that extra cross-check while he's on the ground. Not able to do it. You like the tough play. Kellen Leclerc with a great slide. Just the extra cross-check. A little much, but I think Six Nations, I think Victoria, both these defenses are going to play a little bit tougher to start things off, to set the tone.
Marshall King with a shot right into the crest of the jersey of Dougie Jamieson. Now Brian Cole looking to slow things down, waiting for his mates to get reset. Good job there, just evading some of the traffic. Lyle Thompson now on the far side. Lyle looking, trying to find a lane. He has been red hot during the playoffs. He gets knocked down. Loose ball, and the Shamrocks will pick it up. Lyle Thompson, 40 points during the regular season, got 28 in the playoffs.
Just remarkable stuff from Lyle Thompson. It feels like, I don't know if he was nursing injuries during the regular season, just didn't look like he was quite himself. But come into the playoffs, he was a completely different player than Lyle Thompson that we expect to see all the time.
Marshall King playing pitch and catch there with Jesse. Jesse's got it now, takes a shot. Stopped there by Dougie.
Great hitch by King there, fools Dougie Jamieson, but Jamieson's able to react to that little hitch. Makes a big stop. Both these goaltenders have been sharp early on.
Goaltending is going to be quite the story as this Mann Cup goes along. Six Nations. There's a shot that's going to just miss, but Dougie Jamieson and Warren Hill were going back and forth and back and forth each individual game as the playoffs went along. John Tavares not afraid of using both of their goaltenders, and now you add Dylan Ward into that mix.
Yeah, 3 starting goalies on their team. Origlieri and, of course, Dunkerley was a starter for Riptide last year.
There's a shot, scores, and Victoria takes the early lead. The Shamrocks strike first here at the Mann Cup, and it's Marshall King getting the goal.
This one's not going to count as a power play marker. As you can see there, Six Nations extra player comes out on the floor, but this is just a great backdoor cut, a perfect angle there. Great feed from behind the net. Marshall King gets in all alone, sneaks behind the Six Nations defense, and when he gets space in front of the net, he is going to make you pay.
So Marshall King gets things started. Jesse and Matthew Gauthier drawing the helpers. This is what Victoria wants. Get that early lead and set the tempo. 7 minutes gone here in the first. Jesse King with it to Peterson. Peterson looking, trying the low shot, kicked away by Jamieson, and it goes into the crowd. Jesse King gets it over. Now on the near side. Shot there by Wardle. He scores. He goes 5-hole on Dougie, and Victoria's got a 2-0 lead.
You and I were talking about this before we went to air. For both teams, it is so important to start on time, but for Victoria, it's that much more important. That one's probably one Doug Jamieson is going to want back. Peterson fires this over to Wardle. Wardle, a player, has made most of his mark in his lacrosse career as a guy without the ball, crashing, banging, catching on the inside and finishing. That's a great outside look from a grit grinder on your team who's usually used to doing all the little things to get the skilled guys open.
And right off the face-off, Victoria is looking for more. They're smelling some blood here at the ILA. Marshall King, one of the goal scorers, getting it over. That one was intercepted. And it'll be picked up here by Priolo. Up ahead for Dane Smith. And Smith is going to settle things down a bit here. Wait for some fresh legs to get on. Shane Jackson. Into the corner it goes. Smith now with it. Smith looking for a lane, finds his man, but Jackson unable to get a stick on it.
A great play by Wade there, got his stick on it.
What a move there from Smith as he sends a shot on goal, and it'll be stopped. Cole getting pressured there from Phillips, loses his stick. Phillips is in there, but another Chief is in there. He's getting knocked down, protecting that ball. Phillips very hungry for it. And here come the Chiefs the other way as they win that skirmish. The captain, Cody Jamieson. He's done it all in the game of lacrosse, and he scores to open the scoring for the Chiefs. It's 2-1.
Who else but Cody Jamieson to get this party started for Six Nations? Sees a little bit of daylight, and he has one of the most deceptive shots in the game of lacrosse. As you can see him, just throws that little hitch. It's not a full twister, but it's so difficult for goaltenders to pick up. Cody Jamieson, the heart and soul of this team.
And just like that, the Shamrocks say, well, you put one in, it's time for our turn to get one back and make it a 3-1 game.
That is how you respond. A little bit of life into this building, but right off the face-off, DeChico, who has been an absolute menace,
Six Nations Chiefs first goal.
wins the draw to himself, gets that over to Preston. And Preston makes no mistake answering the bell. It's 3-1 for the visitors.
And number 68,
And, you know, having a word with DeChico before the game, the Guelph native, just finishing up his career with Ohio State. And like you said off the top, Pat, he's going to hear his name during the NLL draft. It's just a matter of when.
I don't think he's going to have to wait a long time for that.
But he was amped and he was antsy to get into there. And, well, just like that, you saw it there. Jamieson takes a shot, and now Jamieson getting tied up there with one of the Victoria players. Looks like that is Bennett Smith.
The officials say no harm, no foul. They'll let go. It's probably not going to be the last scrum we see here at the Mann Cup.
Hey, it's game one. These two teams renewing pleasantries, their fourth time playing in the Mann Cup head-to-head.
Six Nations holding a 3-0 lead on that. The last time these two teams met back in 2014.
Eli McLaughlin now. Stutter steps, gets it over. Smith, shot right on goal, and Origlieri with the save. That almost turned into something nasty as Victoria was on him in the midst of a line change there.
Yeah, that was a sloppy line change. Luckily for Victoria, nothing being done there as Casey Wilson with a great chance, but Jamison shuts the door.
Quick pace back the other way. Martin takes a look, and he'll just get it back here for Jackson. For Randy Stotts. Down here for Jackson yet again. Jackson moving in, 7 on the shot clock. Up top for Randy. Pressure there on Smith. They got to get the shot away. It goes on Origlieri, and the Chiefs get the ball back. How about that, maxing out the shot clock and still able to get a possession?
There's Longboat, such a hard-nosed player, gets that loose ball. He's one of the smallest guys on the floor, but makes up for it in so much determination picking up that loose ball.
He really does. He's been an unsung hero on this Chiefs team all season. Longboat gets it over. Longboat inside, scores! You said his name and he appears. Travis Longboat makes it 3-2.
This is all hard nose, work boots, picks up the loose ball initially from that reset. Then he gets the loose ball again with just a few seconds on the shot clock. It's a little give and go between him and Jamison, and yes, he does all the little gritty things. But that finish was nothing short of finesse. A beautiful finish, injects some life back into the ILA. Now Six Nations trails by just 1 goal.
It's always a game of runs, and Six Nations took well advantage of that during the regular season and the playoffs. They can start getting on a bit of a run here, pick up some of this momentum and utilize this crowd. Can't hear a pin drop at all here at the ILA. It is a packed house.
You could feel at the start of the game a little bit of nervous energy, especially with the start that Victoria had, but now there's some life in this building.
That one's knocked on goal, tipped, and Jamison is able to keep it out. And yeah, that nervous feeling, it's been ringing through the building. There's just so much on the line in this series. You know, off-floor shenanigans aside, the game on the floor, it's been a good one here so far. But a couple of miscues is right there. It's going to go into the crowded out of play. Those miscues, the opposition's got to take advantage of those.
It seems like that's always, the big difference. The teams that are able to capitalize on the other team's mistakes, those are the ones that usually at the end of the season are hanging up the hardware.
Cody Jamison trying to go in. Origlieri stands tall. Taking a hit there was Longboat, still had it. Jamison has it here now. Turns back around, back to Longboat, takes a shot. That one's stopped by Origlieri. A big frame getting in the way again.
Momentum really starting to shift towards Six Nations, and it's all because of these offensive resets, getting those loose balls, getting a reset, and having an extended possession. Try to tire out these athletes that Victoria has out the back door.
Cody Jamison in for Jackson. Shane Jackson looking for some space, gets it over. Back for Jamison, that one shot, it's blocked. And it's gonna come across back the other way, and the shot clock's going to expire.
And that just goes to show you just the talent on this team. I mentioned 4 former MVPs in the National Lacrosse League, 3 of them connecting there with Jackson, Dane Smith, Cody Jamison, and Lyle Thompson getting a little bit of a breather on the bench there. Just an embarrassment of riches.
It's been a phenomenal season, and it's like we've said, it's an NLL All-Star team with this Six Nations Chiefs team. It's unbelievable, the championships and the MVP awards that are just riddled in. And then look who's coaching them. Shamrocks pressing here now. King inside, shot, that one goes wide. Rebounds picked up here by the Rocks, and another save made by Doug Jamison, but it's going to be Rocks' ball here.
Now here's an extended possession. Maybe Victoria can take advantage. Six Nations not able to get a change there.
Wilson up top finds his captain, Jesse, and another save by Jamison. Priolo putting some pressure on Jesse King. Loose ball, it's going to be grabbed up here. Up the floor goes Justin Martin. Leaves it here. Sundown will spend his time in the nation's capital coming up in a couple of months. Smith back to Sundown. Sundown charging toward the goal, and he does not score. He stepped at the crease.
Sundown, a human highlight reel. That guy does not score ugly goals. You mentioned how he's going to be playing for the Ottawa Black Bears. They're excited to have him back for another season. Another one of these heart and soul guys that can score some beauty goals too.
Marshall King, fresh off the bench here now is Gauthier. He got it over. Pickup, finds Dodds. 2 on the shot clock. That one's blocked. It'll go to the far side, and the Chiefs will take over. Now Edwards.
Nice recovery there by Thompson. He gets beat initially on that pick on the back in the two-man game, but he recovers to the middle, puts his stick out, blocks the pass, allows that clock to expire.
Smith in. There's Lyle. Lyle twisting and turning. Can't find some room, so he outlets it. Dane Smith now using his body, trying to find some space. Lyle Thompson with a shot, stopped by Origlieri. Shamrocks now in the transition. Dallas Wade, number 29. We'll leave it back here for Dodds. Dodds holding on to it, gets it over. Gets it back on the near side. Dodds, that one intercepted. Like a cornerback, Kyle Rubish picks it off.
Another one of the Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers on this roster. Rubish, when all is said and done, he might be one of, if not the best defender to play the game of box lacrosse. He'll be right up there with a lot of the greats.
Scooped up there, Smith can't get the shot away. He was engulfed in front of the crease, and it's gonna be Chiefs ball here. Priolo's just gonna leave it here for his captain, Cody Jamison. Passing it back here. Smith trying to get through the lane, finds Jamison. Dozen seconds left on the shot clock. There is a delayed call on the floor. It's gonna go against Victoria. Jamison to the bench, quick stick there. Unable to capitalize was Eli McLaughlin, but a holding penalty is coming up here against Victoria.
Take a look here at this penalty. I think it's going to be there. Yep. Might have been a little bit of a sell job by Randy Stotts there. Felt a little tug on his stick there, dropped it, but hey, how did it end up out of the hands?
Calls the call. So first power play here for Six Nations. Down by 1. Dane Smith. Lyle Thompson scores! We're tied at 3. What a shot from Lyle Thompson.
Mark, you asked me on top of the program here, what does Victoria need to do the unthinkable and knock off Six Nations here? One thing is play discipline and not take penalties, because look at all the talent on the floor for Six Nations. Lyle Thompson, not much going on there. Little seal, gives enough space for him to let it fly, showing off why he is one of the best players on the planet, whether it's inside the box, in the field, you name it. Lyle Thompson is must-see TV when he touches turf.
Tim Edwards just shrugs his man off. Still a loose ball though. Preston trying to get to it. Yeoman's work by Edwards trying to get this loose. Preston though will scoop it up. Chico was in there as well. Here's Jesse King. The announcement of the Lyle Thompson goal getting an applause from this capacity crowd. Marshall King finds a lane, takes a shot, stopped by Dougie Jamieson. Tried to find 5-hole, but Dougie said no. Now Kellen LeClaire, he'll find Shane Jackson and go off to the bench. Jackson to the far side for Smith. Smith looking, shooting, trying to go 5-hole, trying to find a little bit of space down low, but Riglieri looking big there yet again.
That's one thing about this kid, Mark. He never is phased. Doesn't matter if he's letting a goal, he always bounce back. You can't tell if his team's winning 5-0 or if they're up 10-0. The guy is unflappable for such a young netminder. That is so huge.
What a future he has. First overall pick, by the way, in the MSL draft in 2024. Owen Sound had called his name, but finds himself out west this summer.
Fans, don't forget Mann Cup souvenir programs. Mann Cup
Eli McLaughlin now with it.
tickets all on sale and available in the main
Up
lobby
here for
area.
Randy. A minute to go here in the first. Daryl Smart will have an interview on the floor during the intermission as Lyle Thompson sends a shot down low and Riglieri steers it away. Shot by Randy, another save by Riglieri. And Chico will pick it up here for the Shamrocks.
Shamrocks are going to try to go for the 2-for-1 here. Try to get that timeout under 30 seconds. Doesn't work out for them though.
So we're under 30 to go
Get those 50-50 tickets.
in the first. Lyle Thompson looking to give the Chiefs the lead going into the break. Got it over for Randy. Randy Stotts, pass back, that one's too far. Picked up there by Jackson, over, shot, that one goes just wide. And it'll bounce across center and back into Chiefs territory with 5 seconds to go.
Will be enough to chalk something up here. They're not going to pull the goaltender or call a timeout. Have to be quick here, Mark.
Pass inside, and diving through the crease was Wardle. He's not able to get the shot away, and that is going to do it for the first period of play. The Shamrocks take a 2-0 lead. They end up having a 3-1 lead at one point, but the Chiefs end up coming back with a couple of goals late, including one from Lyle Thompson. It is a 3-3 game, and what a competitive start to this Mann Cup.
I think this is, for both teams, probably okay with the 3-3 tie. I don't think Six Nations entirely pleased with the start, but they'll like the finish. And if you are Victoria, you're happy signing off a 3-3 game, especially with the way your goaltender, Chris Riglieri, has played.
Daryl Smart is downstairs with Cody Jamieson. Let's send it over to Daryl.
Thanks, Mark and Patty. Got the captain, Cody Jamieson, with us. Quick start for the Victoria Shamrocks. Were you a little bit surprised or no?
No, they're a good team. They're here for a reason. You know, they've been waiting around. They've been raring to go. You know, they got to come out with some energy, and it was up to us to match that. I think we, as a period went on, we got a little bit stronger, but you know, that's what we expected. A young, fast team, aggressive. You know, it's exactly what we expected. 3-3 after the first period, and game one's a good period.
Perfect. And one more before you go talk to the team. What do you think of this crowd, and how are you guys feeding off it?
Yeah, crowd's awesome. You know, we've been waiting all year. Last series was like this, nice and loud, and it's awesome to see, you know, the building packed, and you know, fans are looking for some good lacrosse. That first period was good, so we'll keep it up.
Awesome. Good luck the rest of the way, Jim. Back to you, Mark and Patty.
Thanks so much, Daryl. We're going to send it to break. When we come back, we will take you through the first intermission. Stay with us. This is Game 1 of the Mann Cup live from the ILA on Cable 14. Welcome back to live coverage of Game 1 of the Mann Cup here on Cable 14. Mark Perry alongside Pat Gregoire, and a competitive first 20 minutes between the Six Nations Chiefs and the Victoria Shamrocks. And really the story of this period, again, talking about that competitiveness, the two goaltenders looked phenomenal and did not look out of place whatsoever. It seems like both Chris Origlieri and Doug Jamieson came to play here tonight.
Oh, did they ever. And we talked about all the offensive power that these teams have, but we did say one of the big storylines would be these two goalies or multiple goalies in this series. There's so much depth on both sides, but the youngster, Chris Origlieri, really held the fort down, allowed his team to get going. And then, of course, Doug Jamieson, one of the best goalies in the sport, really held down the fort as well, both making some really, really big saves. And we get a look here is Doug Jamieson. He's such a big body. He plays his angles great. There was a ton of prime scoring opportunities for Victoria, but Jamieson, again, you heard Cody Jamieson, didn't love the energy that his team came out with. A big reason why it's tied is because Doug Jamieson, when they came out a little bit flat, he made some big stops early on.
And in times like these, your goaltender does need to be your best player. On offense, some of the best players came out really to play for both sides.
And no doubt, we talked about the King brothers. They were huge to start this game off. Marshall King opens up the scoring, and of course Jesse King getting involved. One thing though with this Shamrocks team, there's about a handful of players right now with 1 goals each. You see Chris Wardle unload that one from the outside, but how about this individual effort from Tachiko? Gets it over to Nick Preston, scores that goal. That was right after Six Nations scored a big goal. And then Marshall King, that's the opening marker, but Six Nations with some beauties as well. As you'll see, Travis Longboat, didn't see before that the hard loose ball that he picked up. And then on the power play, Lyle Thompson, just simply doing Lyle Thompson things. Comes off that screen and rips an absolute blast. It's shocking. I would have assumed there would have been more goals in this with all the offensive talents. But again, it just goes back to not only how good these two goaltenders are. The defense is aplenty.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I really noticed that Six Nations keyed in on during the tail end of that period more than anything was getting Origlieri to move and getting him to shift around. And, really that's kind of the sweet spot that you need to get to. Getting him to move around, getting him to pull up a little bit and get some of those backdoor plays in.
Yeah, that's a great point. He is too big. He's too great with his angles. And the fact that in the summer game he's allowed to use the wooden stick, if you do shoot on him heads on, it's going to be impossible to beat him. Get his feet moving. Yes, he's a very athletic goalie. He does move from pipe to pipe very well. But that is your best chance. Even on that power play marker, you saw the screen comes around him, the ball goes east-west, and that's when Thompson unloads that. So that's something we're going to need to see and continue to see. I think on the flip side, that's what Victoria is trying to do with Doug Jamieson, because he's one of the best angle blocking goalies there is. If you can find a weakness in his game, it's probably his mobility, although for his size, he's a pretty good athlete as well. But if you can get him moving side to side, get him uncomfortable in that crease, that's where you're going to be able to expose him.
Back on that one goal, that individual effort from DeChico, that really kind of sets the tone for Victoria in a nutshell, in the sense that if you have the goal scored against you, you really have to come back in a hurry. You cannot let Six Nations go on a run.
No, they are going to eventually go on a run. You said it, lacrosse, it's a game of runs. This team is so firepower. But you can't allow Six Nations to feel like that 2-0 start was just a fluke and they're back in this. They throw that counterpunch right away, and it all starts with DeChico. He takes that face-off, wins it to himself, and then finds Preston streaking down the middle. Beautiful finish. That really cemented the Shamrocks saying, all right, we're here. We're ready to play. We're going to keep our pedal to the metal.
Is there anybody in this game that you've noticed here so far in the sense that you haven't really noticed them all that much, and really you feel like they could do a little bit more in this game?
I think a guy like Patrick Dodds is someone that I think that the Shamrocks, if they're going to want to extend this series and come out victorious, Patrick Dodds is going to be a player that needs to contribute. We know Marshall King's going to score. We know Jesse King is going to score as well. Clark Peterson, he got a beautiful assist as well. But Dodds is that X factor. He is that secondary scoring source that needs to supplement from the big three. Saw a couple of chances for him to go in the two-man game. Wasn't able to feed in the middle. He's a big body. Six Nations, a big, tough defense. You're going to have to sacrifice. It's going to be a long series. There's going to be bumps and bruises. Would like to see a little more from Dodds. Use that big frame of his. Get to the middle. When you have a two-man game, really try to use that size to your advantage.
Off the floor real quick, we're going to get to some of the stuff during the second intermission. That was really the talk of lacrosse over the last 48 hours, but off the floor, you get any chicken wraps in yet?
Not yet. I went to go pregame. It was packed. I could not, standing room only, so I'm hoping maybe during an intermission or after the game, hopefully they keep it open because those things are absolutely bad.
They are, and it's a staple here at the ILA. It's one of those things where when in Rome, you eat a chicken wrap.
There's no doubt. I don't know what the over-under is set at chicken wraps consumed by myself this week, but I'd hammer the over.
Both teams getting back onto the floor here to get started for this second period. Tied at 3 through 20 minutes of Game 1 of the Mann Cup. Both teams will switch sides. It'll be Jeremy Thompson and Trent DeChico facing off at center to get things started for this second period.
Kyle Pepper, face-off specialist, not in the lineup here tonight, so DeChico also takes face-offs. So it's going to be a busy game for him because he logs just more than taking face-offs. Brad McCulley and Arthur Miller, the other scratches. As I thought Randy Stotts might have went bar down there.
I thought so too, but the official was in prime position there. Here comes Preston back the other way, takes a shot. That one goes wide. Thompson will get it ahead. Tyson Bell trying to one-hand it and move up the floor, but he left the ball behind there for a moment. Putting on some pressure here is Shane Jackson. Into the near side for Randy. Randy looking for some space, takes a shot, it goes off the official, and Origlieri will scoop it up. Here's where this pace is going to pick up during the second period with the benches in the opposite zones. As a big knockdown by Wilson, he takes down big Brian Cole, but Cole gets right back up and the whistle's going to go.
That's one thing about both these teams. They have so many players that can play both sides of the ball. Bomberry going out the back door, but we know he's got the green light to stay. And look, Jesse King going to play a little bit of defense here. Old school lacrosse, if you will.
Up the other way, the whistle's going to go, and here come the Shamrocks back.
Look, DeChico picking up that loose ball. I'm going to have to rearrange my big board for the draft this fall. I had him pretty high already, but if he continues this play during the Mann Cup, he's going to just continue to climb more and more GM's big boards.
Guy's a future NLL player. Shot right on goal, and Doug Jamieson with the save.
And there's Dodds. Great opportunity there. He kind of fades away. He's so big. He's so athletic. Try to beat your defender over top. Shoot around the defender's hip. Use them as a screen. Got to get him involved more physically.
Randy Stotts trying to take that shot, and right as he was in the windup, had it knocked out of his stick. Shot by Thompson. That one goes wide, and here come the Shamrocks back the other way with Derek Lloyd. Quick pass. What a shot, and right off the iron. Marshall King almost finished off a highlight reel play.
Clark Peterson, what a feed behind the back. And then look, he's the first guy back on the back check. Again, one of these other players not afraid to play both sides of the ball.
Longboat looking. Gets through a couple of players. It's still loose. It's down on the near side. Longboat gets it back, and it'll be Dane Smith to scoop it up. Shot toward the goal. Gets by Iroquois, and he'll just scoop it up here for DeChico.
You know, talking to Micah Kersey, the head coach of the Halifax Thunderbirds, I think it was last season or maybe even the one prior to that, talking about Clark Peterson, he said he's way too good offensively, but if he wanted to put him out the back door, he'd be one of their best transition players. He trusts him as a defender. That just goes to show you how well-rounded of a lacrosse player Peterson is.
You need those guys. You need everybody to contribute, playing both on offense and defense. Lyle Thompson, that was too far. Goes all the way back, and here comes Cole Pickup. One-on-one. Pickup, holding, takes a shot. Low, that save from Doug Jamieson. Jeremy Thompson now picks it up.
Free agency season in the NL, Cole Pickup getting picked up from the San Diego Seals. He's going to have an opportunity to make a name for himself. And oh my goodness,
Shane Jackson. Over the shoulder, top cheddar. Six Nations 4, Victoria 3.
another one of these former MVPs of the National Lacrosse League is Jackson. Normally a guy that will crash hard to the net, beat a guy underneath, but he also shows off he's an absolute cannonade. Stings that top left corner. My, oh my, gives Six Nations their first lead of the game.
That NLL MVP coming back in 2020, so not too long ago. Bomberry, a battle between the 21s happening there in the corner. The aggressiveness picking up here. 4 minutes into this second period. And here come the Chiefs. They have the lead. They're looking for more. Priolo. He'll just hold on to it and wait for some fresh legs to get on. Randy Stotts. He'll get it over for Jackson. Twists in, gets it over Sundown, and Iroquois was there. Sundown just didn't have the angle.
Grade 2 man in Sundown. He's one of these players that doesn't matter which side of the floor he is. He has just such a great release with that twister. Almost reaches around, but you're right, runs out of real estate, not able to get that by Iroquois.
Wardle into the corner. Out inside, Dodds. Just missed there. And you've seen those backdoor plays, but Marshall King says, what backdoor play? I'm just going to barrel it through. And Victoria ties this game up.
There's a great opportunity by Dodds. He cuts to the middle, gets to the middle of the floor like I was mentioning what we need to see. Here it is. He just misses it, but a heads-up play. That's a loose ball, certainly, that Justin Martin is going to want to get back. That one will drive a defensive coach. You got to be sure of it. You can't cheat. He goes to pick up that ball, skips over him, goes to King. And King just rips one, tying this game at 4.
Loose ball picked up here by the Chiefs. Priolo. Chiefs looking to respond. Marshall King with a pair of markers in this one for the Shamrocks. Bounce pass to Jackson. Cody Jamieson on the far side for Smith. In, trying to find Jackson, but it's going to be intercepted. Preston gets to the right side of center, and here come the Rocks. Looking to press the action, takes the shot. That one just missed. And good scoop up there by Jeremy Thompson. Here comes Dane Smith the other way. Smith twisting around, trying to get around a couple of guys there. Inside on transition. Sundown went flying, but he couldn't get the shot away. Now Smith, 7 on the shot clock. He loses it. Breakaway opportunity. Bennett Smith, inside shot. Dougie Jamieson stands tall. Quickly the other way. Stotts shot. Try to get it through a Wrigley area, and unable to do so, and it'll be Rock's ball here.
I know Bennett Smith doesn't score there, but Mark, I've been so impressed with his game. He's going up against the top forwards on that right side. Almost every single shift, he's playing tough, getting in guys' faces, almost gets rewarded with a big goal there. But Jamieson made a big stop.
Almost got rewarded there again as he almost took the pass inside right in the slot, but a good job by the Chiefs defense. Tyson Bell's going to leave it here for Steve Priolo. Jackson for Cody Jamieson. Finds a lane. Cody trying to bounce it in there, but Origlieri stands it through it again. Randy Stotts in. Quick stick by Jamieson. Unable to get the shot away.
It's not often you see Cody Jamieson miss from there. Great effort by Stotts to force that turnover, get the loose ball, and a brilliant shovel pass right over to the captain.
Peterson into the corner. Loose in there is Marshall King. He shoots, he scores. Marshall King with the hat trick. Victoria retakes the lead.
You talked about it in that first period. Big players coming up in big moments. In that first period, there were 5 players on the Shamrocks, all with just 1 point. But King now rewarded with a couple of extra goals there, and that one is just a pure individual effort. He dangles his defender and just drops that ball right by the shoulder of Jamieson.
Marshall King, he and Jesse were the leading point getters for the Shamrocks throughout the regular season and the playoffs. And Marshall King showing exactly why he can do what he can do. And Priolo knocks his man down, and it looks like Priolo is going to take a penalty.
You mentioned the 2 King brothers. Jesse King, we'll get a look at this penalty first. Whistle blows. And that's Bennett Smith again. He is in everyone's face. He's getting under everyone's skin. And that's just frustrations boiling over for the wily veteran Priolo there. Gives an extra shove on the back. Maybe a little bit of an embellishment from Smith, but nonetheless, Victoria with a big opportunity. Talking about the King brothers, though. Jesse King, perennial, one of the top lefties in the National Lacrosse League. He says his brother Marshall is more talented than him. He says he's got the more skill. It's just about the opportunity. Well, he's getting an opportunity here. He just signed a new contract with the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. Expect big things for little brother Marshall King going forward.
He's going to start with the ball here on the power play. 12:09 remaining in the second period. The Shamrocks and the Chiefs have been going back and forth here in this opening contest of the Mann Cup. Jesse and Marshall playing pitch and catch. Marshall looking, shooting, and Doug Jamieson's there. Brian Cole will move up the floor as a couple of Chiefs players go off. Just looking for some fresh legs to work with here and kill off some time. Maybe look for a scoring chance. Longboat up top. Shot, that one stopped by Origlieri on Eli McLaughlin. And now here comes Preston for the Rocks, the other way. Minute 10 left in the penalty. Gauthier on the near side. Gets it to Jesse King, to Marshall. Marshall back to Jesse. They've been going back and forth, those 2 brothers. And Marshall looking for a lane. Good knockdown there. And what aggressiveness by Kyle Rubish yet again. Now Rubish and Gauthier having a couple of words there in behind the goal.
Now that's just vintage Rubish. One hand on the stick with that chop. He's perfected it. It is his marquee move. slashes and hacks harder with one hand on his stick than a lot of defenders can with two hands on his stick.
Guy doesn't skip arm day.
No, certainly does not.
Lyle Thompson on the near side. Gets it overshot. O'Riglieri with the save on Jackson. But Lyle gets it again. 15 seconds left in the penalty. And Lyle's just going to be content to get it over to Cody and kill off these last couple of seconds and get things back to 5-a-side. Longboat gets through one. Longboat in. Lyle loses the ball. Phillips up the floor. Finds Smith yet again. Smith one-on-one. Shot off the iron. That was Clark Peterson on the far side getting the shot away. He beat Dougie, but he couldn't beat the post.
Clark Peterson, 2 assists in this game, but he could have a couple of goals here. Now that's a pipe. Snake bitten early on in this first half of this game.
There'll be a turnover here. DeChico will get the ball. Couple of hacks. One handing it there was Bomberry as Gauthier will get it back here for Victoria. DeChico getting through. A couple of players shot. That one hits the post again. Couple of irons for the Shamrocks. Unlucky in these last minutes.
Man, oh man, what a shift from DeChico. He can just make an impact all over the floor.
To the far side, in for Wardle. Couldn't get the shot away, though. But the Rocks will get the ball back. Wardle finds a lane. Shot it. Plays pinball. It goes in on goal, and Dougie keeps it out.
It's one thing you can see Victoria now doing. Trying to shoot around those picks, around the screens, not allow Doug Jamieson to see the players set their feet, see where those shots are coming from.
Travis Longboat now looking for a lane, cuts in, takes a shot, trying to find a bit of space down low, but Origlieri stands tall. Quickly now up the floor comes Wardle, or rather Jay. Cole pickup. Playing one-on-one here. Rubish keeps him away. There's a shot, or rather that was Martin. Now Tyson Bell trying to play soccer with that ball. He gets knocked down. The Rocks get the ball here. Fresh shot clock to work with here for Victoria. Up 5-4 with under 8 to go in the second.
Well, one of the big reasons Six Nations was able to tie things up in that first were the resets. We'll see if Victoria can take advantage.
Gauthier trying to find a lane. He gets in, and Dougie with the save. Rebound goes into the corner. Cole is in there. So is Wardle. Trying to get this ball loose. See if humanity there in the corner, and Cole pickup will get it here for Victoria. Another reset.
Massive loose ball by Gauthier. That's how he made a name for himself at the 2020 Minto Cup.
Now inside, Cole pickup going in, and Dougie makes another save. But another turnover and another Victoria ball.
It looks like Tyson Bell was able to get a change. That's only one fresh body here. As Victoria was able to get a couple of fresh legs. We'll see if they can capitalize here, Mark, and smell some blood in the water.
An extended shift here for the Chiefs. Dougie with another save.
You can just see it. Look at these Chiefs defenders. They are absolutely gassed. Jamieson's got to do something here. Try to control that rebound.
In Jesse King, knocked away by Dougie. Loose ball, and another pickup there. Casey Wilson now with it. Getting it inside, shot. Dougie with another save. And
going to be back in, though.
Wow.
Another resetting. The faithful here at the ILA disagree. Clark Peterson, though, another chance. He can't buy one here tonight, Mark.
No, he cannot. The Rocks still pressuring though. Loose ball. It's going to be knocked into the corner, and Tyler Biles will pick it up. Can they get it up the floor enough to get a change? Looks like they will. Wholesale change here for the Chiefs.
And that there, when you dodge a bullet, that can inject some energy into this offense. You realize, all right, fellas, we need a 30-second. Our defense is gassed.
Lyle Thompson takes a hack. Randy Stotts with a shot, kicked away by Origlieri. In behind the goal, Randy Stotts surveying the scene. Inside, trying to find Cody, and he had that knocked out of his hands. And here comes Lloyd the other way for the Shamrocks.
Oh, that was a great set piece there. Sundown comes on the wrong side, sets that hard seal. Just opened up the middle of the floor for Jamison. He was just not able to catch that ball and cash in.
Dodds doesn't see it. Picked up here. Here comes Tyson Bell on a breakaway. One-on-one. Bell inside Origlieri. Another save. Origlieri has been the story for Victoria in this game, especially here in this second.
Don't have shot counts here, how many saves he has. Let's just say it's a lot.
Very much so, as diving through the crease there was Peterson. Was unable to hit Pater. And there's going to be a holding call coming here against Six Nations. It's going to be Kellen Leclerc.
Yeah, that's Leclerc's second penalty of the game. This time it's a hold. We saw the last time was him being overzealous with that illegal cross check. And yeah, anytime, say this all the time, when I'm coaching, as soon as you take that free hand off and you touch with that free hand off your stick, they're going to call that 9 times out of 10. And that's exactly what happens there. As Peterson goes to the net, it impedes him taking that ball to the front of the net. I know he's able to get the shot off, but it's enough to tug on him, and that is why the arm goes up. And Victoria with a big opportunity here to increase their lead by 2.
It has been a close game here so far, but Victoria has looked like the better team in this second period. They have been pressing the action. They have been getting loose ball after loose ball, and they just continue to keep the Chiefs pinned in here.
2 minutes for holding, time of the penalty, 15-12.
Rocks move the ball around. Marshall King looking, finds Jesse. That one's blocked. Good shot block there by the Chiefs defender. Jesse with another shot, it goes wide. 6 on the shot clock here. Marshall gets it on goal, he scores! Marshall King has 4, and it's 6-4 Victoria.
When you're hot, and that's exactly what Marshall King is right now. A couple of wide chances, as that one's not the hardest shot you'll ever see, but it is pinpoint accurate, and it's such a difficult spot for the goaltender to get to on his stick down low on that near side. A beautifully placed shot. King, like I mentioned, not the hardest shot you'll ever see, but he can just pick corners, sting corners, and pinpoint it so accurately.
Bit of a breaking ball, if you will, in baseball terms.
Yes.
Taking a little bit off, a little bit of a change up. Here's Cole Pickup on the near side. 6-4 Victoria. They're looking to add to this lead. Inside, shot there by Wilson, and Dougie was there.
Wilson not able to cash in there. Wilson last summer playing for Team Canada on the men's team, who's the youngest player on that roster. He's already played in 2 Minto Cups, so he's not afraid of the big stage, just not able to cash in there.
Quick stick there from Cody, and he can't get it by Origlieri. Phillips, good chop there by Priolo. Couple of hacks there, and
I thought that was close to being over and back.
Very close. Gauthier on the near side. Gauthier in, looking for Marshall.
Great stick by Martin, good anticipation. That's a great player. seems like he's always disrupting things.
Marshall King yet again. Marshall King is on a tear.
All right, Mark, I know I said he doesn't have the hardest shot. That one there is an absolute bullet. It's off a loose ball once again. Peterson doing all the little dirty things, picks up the loose ball, sets that hard screen, gives enough time and space for Marshall King to bury his 5th goal, and we are not even out of the second period.
We were talking about Origlieri being a key story in net. Marshall King is quickly making himself to be the story for the Victoria Shamrocks here in game number 1. That should be an over and back. Yes, it will.
We talked about it. Like, we know Jesse King, you know, perennial lefty scorer, one of the better leaders in the game of lacrosse. He's made a name for himself. His young brother Marshall is now making that trajectory. This is a launching pad for him. I mentioned it already. Signs that deal with the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, but you know, his main focus is trying to bring back a Mann Cup to Victoria. Him and his brother just so proud to be from Victoria, putting on that green jersey. That's why I think he's been playing so fired up here tonight.
Maybe he's got a little bit of extra juice from that birthday cake. It was his 27th birthday yesterday.
No doubt about that.
Passed up here for Cody Jamieson. Cody Jamieson trying to slow things down with just over 2 minutes to go here in the second. Cody on the far side, fresh off the bench. Smith inside, Jackson can't get it by Origlieri.
That is just perfect ball movement. You cannot spin the rock better than that, and Jackson gets to the middle of the floor. Just Origlieri makes a big stop. How many times have you had to say that here tonight? And I think you're going to be saying a lot here at the Mann Cup.
It's just that big body, that big frame, getting in tight. It's almost impossible. Gauthier shot stopped by Dougie Jamieson. Gauthier trying to get this loose ball, and Peterson will be the one to scoop it up.
Another big loose ball from Peterson. He's the type of player that if the ball's not sinking for him, he's going to be the distributor. He's going to set hard picks. He recognizes, okay, ball's not sinking for me. How else can I have an effect on the floor? He's certainly doing that here tonight.
Gauthier looking around, takes a shot, and it goes underneath Dougie, but he's able to keep it out. Smith the other way. Quick transition in. Shot by Randy is going to be blocked. Great scoop up there by Eli. Under a minute to go. Quick stick in. Diving in. And another Origlieri save. Cody Jamieson, too far for him, as he slaps down his stick in absolute disgust. As
that's a couple of balls now, Mark, that he's missed, which is completely uncharacteristic for him.
That frustration starting to set in here for the Chiefs. Smith to the near side. Jesse King. Moving it over now. Jesse inside, has some room, has some space. He hits the iron. The third goalpost hit in this period by Victoria. And that's going to be set all the way down. And that'll do it. Second period in the books. The Victoria Shamrocks come into the second period. Marshall King, what a story. 5 goals out of the 7 for the Victoria Shamrocks. They have been anything but lucky. They have been good. They have been very good. They have a lead going into the third period. And this is what the Six Nations Chiefs cannot afford to happen. The Victoria Shamrocks are utilizing their speed. They're utilizing their ferocity as well.
now on sale.
And a 3-goal lead going into the second period. I don't think a lot of people in this building were expecting that.
Well, certainly not, but you heard Cody Jamieson. He said, this is a good team. We know they're going to put up a good fight. There's no panic in that locker room, but I think when you look inside that locker room for Victoria, they know they have to keep their foot on the gas.
Daryl Smart is floor side with the man with 5 goals on the board, Marshall King. Here's Daryl.
Thanks, Mark and Patty. Hate to be Captain Obvious, but we had to have Marshall King on the broadcast tonight in between the second period. First and foremost, welcome to Ontario. And second, this is a great response for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're just sticking to our principles. Came here to play our game, not let them dictate the way we play, and I think we're doing a good job of that so far.
Nice. And a theme throughout this whole Mann Cup, both teams, guys playing for their home communities. What does it mean to you? You're a Victoria boy. What does it mean to you to have this green jersey on?
Yeah, I mean, honestly means everything. Just like a lot of people here, too, for Six Nations. I grew up in Victoria watching the Shamrocks my entire childhood, and all I wanted when I was a kid was to put on this uniform, and I'm just happy to be doing it.
So you're feeling it, your team's feeling it. What do you guys need to do to bring this thing home in the third period?
I think we just got to stick to what we're doing, cross-check properly, get shots on goal. We want to get lots of shots on goal. I think we're doing a great job of that. So I don't think we have to change anything. We just got to stick to the basics, and I think we'll be fine.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Marshall. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Back to you, Patty and Mark.
Thanks so much, Daryl. There's Marshall King, all of 5 goals on the board, 7 on the board overall for the Victoria Shamrocks, who have the 7-4 lead going into that third period. Stay with us. We'll have more coverage of Game 1 of the Mann Cup after this. Stay with us. You're watching us live on Cable 14. Welcome back to live coverage of Game 1 of the Mann Cup here on Cable 14. We are live on a Friday night at the ILA. Mark Perry alongside Pat Gregoire. And Pat, you look through the first period. It's a 3-3 game. Victoria comes out And really, the story for Victoria have been about, and it's not to discount any of the other players, but Marshall King and Chris Origlieri.
Yeah.
Unbelievable periods from both of them.
Remarkable. Marshall King with 5 goals, 4 in that period alone, and he's just stinging corners. He is finding a way to beat Doug Jamieson. Everyone else is recognizing he's got the hot stick. They're getting him the ball, they're setting hard seals for him, and he's just shooting around picks. Six Nations got to do a better job, get out to hands, fight through those picks, take away time and space from Marshall King. They are recognizing, hey, you're feeling it tonight, you're going to get the looks. And on the other side of the floor, Origlieri has been phenomenal. Just save after save. He's been absolutely lights out.
And that, again, not to discount anything that the rest of the Victoria Shamrocks have been able to do, but again, that has been the story. And not to mention all the goalposts that were hit during that second period. This 7-4 game could be even more.
Certainly, and I think we saw Clark Peterson hit a post. We saw Trent DeChico hit some iron as well, and that's just, sometimes your best friend as a goaltender is going to be the pipe. We've seen both goalies, but certainly there's the Peterson chance, and there's another chance there. DeChico with the outside look. Man, what a game DeChico is having as well. I think you could put him in that echelon. Of course, Origlieri and Marshall King probably in an echelon on their own, but DeChico right there. Loose balls, face-offs. He's been absolutely electric, almost gets rewarded with a goal there. But I mentioned it before we went to break. Of course, Victoria happy with that the way that they're playing. They recognize, though, that Six Nations Chief team with a flip of a switch can really start to roll. And if a couple of ones go quick, you mentioned it, they are a team that goes on runs, and they are hard to stop those runs.
Yes, they are. And through that third period, it's going to be the big story is stopping a potential run from the Six Nations Chiefs. If you see a goal go in, you have to get right back onto it and cut it off right there. Speaking of the Mann Cup, couple of names, Will Malcolm as well as Mike Messenger. About 48-ish hours ago, an announcement comes out that the two of them are going to be added to the roster for the Victoria Shamrocks here for the Mann Cup. Both of them playing for the New Westminster Salmon Bellies in the WLA this past year. But now they're not on the floor. And a whole lot of chatter, a whole lot of things have been said in the last 48 hours or so concerning this situation. What do you make of all of this?
Hey, it is unfortunate that 24 hours, 48 hours before one of the biggest events in lacrosse each and every year, we're talking about something that doesn't have to do with the players on the floor. But basically, essentially what happened was the WLA was in belief that because they put a motion towards to be a Tier 2 province, that they were going to be able to add 3 players to their roster for the national championship. That was voted at the first level, but it hadn't been passed by the Board of Governors. That's why it was turned over. They were in the air flying to Ontario while that decision was made. They land. Messenger and Malcolm are in this building. They were sitting on the bench watching first warm-up. Their jerseys were ready to go. But I think when you put things aside, you could see in that WLA statement, it was deemed that they were going to protest, they were going to appeal, but by the words of the team, the Shamrocks, they wanted to play. And boy, are they playing it. Let's be honest, the Messenger and Malcolm, unbelievable talents. Messenger is one of the best two-way players in the game. Will Malcolm, MVP of the WLA. They haven't worn that jersey all season long. This is the group that got them there, and they're going to roll with it. And Marshall King, you heard him. It is so important. Victoria Lacrosse, it means everything. He grew up watching this team. So, of course, there are other things at play. I think both teams, and even Six Nations, are just allowing management, commissioners, board of governors, the others to take away that stuff and then allow the floor, the gameplay on the floor, really come to fruition here.
And it's really come to fruition through 40 minutes of play. And just because we're an educational kind of program here as well, when you look at the situation with the Victoria Shamrocks, and then you look at Six Nations being able to add a Dylan Ward onto their roster for their third goaltender, maybe explain to the people that might not be well in tune with how transactions work here at this level, how Six Nations is able to get a Dylan Ward onto their roster. Meantime, a Malcolm and a Messenger aren't able to play for the Shamrocks.
Exactly. So Dylan Ward, it's a completely different. It's apples to orange, where Dylan Ward actually was on the roster for this Six Nations team all season long. Didn't play a game, but he was on the roster. He was put on, don't know the name, it used to be injury reserve, basically a holdout list. So that's why he's able to be added. That's why you heard when lineups were being announced that an Ian McKay was on that roster as well. He's on the roster. Do we see them play here? It's the same thing last year we saw with Dane Smith. Didn't play a regular season game in major series. He played. Eli Salama, same thing, played for Langley, just did the Mann Cup. Didn't play a regular season game. So that's a completely different rule if people are wondering why that can happen.
Already a bit of theatrics happening here in the first 5 seconds of the third period, as now the officials are going to get together. Glad he can join us for Game 1 coverage of the Mann Cup. And Dane Smith is not thrilled with whatever decision is happening here on the floor.
I'll be honest, we were looking at the camera before we could really see anything happen on the floor. I think the ball got stuck in the stick of the Six Nations player on the face-off, so it's a violation. So I do believe they definitely are going to start the ball here.
Victoria with the 3-goal lead. Marshall King gets it over to Jesse. Jesse back for Marshall, takes a shot, and he scores again. Add another one for Marshall King. He's got 6 here tonight.
Somewhere in Victoria, Jim Else is ripping off his socks and throwing it at his TV. It was a good Victoria boy. Marshall King scores his sock trick goal, number 6. This one, again, catch and release. This time, it's not Marshall King grabbing the ball, winding up and ripping it. That one's in and out of his stick. He's on the wrong side of the floor and perfectly places it. So Victoria doubles up Six Nations and has this ILA crowd absolutely stunned.
Marshall King with 26 goals during the regular season for Victoria, added another 15 in the playoffs. He continues his hot 2024. Lyle Thompson for Jackson. It's an 8-4 game. Shane Jackson for Lyle Thompson. For Randy Stotts. Gets through a couple of bodies. Randy still with it. Inside, over, trying to quick stick over for Jackson, and Jackson couldn't get the full shot away. Now here come the Rocks.
27 saves for young Chris O'Reguilari. He has been nothing short of stout through the first 2 minutes of play and 2 minutes here.
Wilson. Getting a couple of shoves there. Lost the ball. Shot there by Dodds. Kicked away by Jamieson. But it's going to be recovered here by Chris Wardle. Great ball recovery. We've been saying that all night, Pat. The recovery capabilities of this Victoria Shamrocks team. Just being able to fight for those balls and come up with it. Inside shot, and that one's not going to hit. It is going to hit the net, but it is going to be Victoria ball here yet again.
Yeah, another loose ball by Matthew Gauthier. Huge extension of this possession for Victoria.
Twisting around. Marshall King now. Over. Shot. Stopped by Jamieson. Rebound is going to be scooped up. Up the floor goes Steve Priolo.
Jamieson making his 30th save of the game, so it's not just O'Reguilari who is standing tall. Jamieson keeping his team within 4. Another big stop. Six Nations offense has to get going. Try to find a way to beat O'Reguilari.
Shot there by Jamieson. There's going to be a penalty coming up. Whistle's going to go. It'll be Six Nations to go on the power play here, as Cody Jamieson tried to move through the slot and he got held up a bit.
Did he ever? And this almost seems like Jamieson saw some daylight. He was going to take it to the net. Best case scenario, he gets a shot off, tries to score. Worst case scenario, he's able to fight through a defender and get a penalty. That's exactly what he does. He draws the penalty. And this potent power play of Six Nations going to get to work here.
Trent DeChico will sit for 2 or less. Smith over, gets it back, finds Lyle Thompson. Backhand pass, overshot, scores! Finally for the Chiefs are able to get one on the board.
This is a great set piece. Dane Smith sets the seal, then Lyle Thompson goes behind the back, finds Longboat, who gets his second goal of the game. Just goes to show you, we've got Randy Stott sitting there on the bench. He's not on power play 1, missed some time due to some injuries, so Longboat with an opportunity to play on that power play on that right side. And he makes Victoria pay for taking a penalty. Just goes to show you, like, a Six Nations second power play unit is probably more talented than I'd say about 90% of the teams in Senior A lacrosse. It's just absolutely unfair.
Just riddled with absolute talent. Here's Lyle Thompson, shot, he scores! Lyle Thompson blows it through a Wrigley. A pair of quick ones here for the Chiefs.
We said it, Mark. Six Nations can sting quickly. They can go on runs, and here's 2 quick unanswered goals. And Lyle Thompson sees a couple of seals set for him. He goes over top, goes to the wrong side of the floor. But when you can shoot the biscuit like that, there's no such thing as the wrong side of the floor. He made it look like he was going far side, tucks it short side. A beautiful finish from LT4.
Lyle with 4 points. A pair of goals, a pair of helpers. And just like that, the Chiefs are within 2. And that one's going to be shot wide as Brian Cole was bowled over as he took that shot.
Roof would have blown off here at the ILA. We're feeling that electricity in this building again just after those 2 quick goals.
Starting to get there, Lyle Thompson shot a Wrigley with the save. Skies it high, McLaughlin, great recovery, gets it away from Smith.
Those are the little hustle plays from your skilled players that you can pile those up. That's going to be the difference between winning and losing. Great play by McLaughlin.
Dane Smith looking for some space in, takes the shot, it goes wide. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Thompson over for Smith, finds Jackson. 3, as Longboat can't get that shot away, gets held up by DeChico, and that'll expire the shot clock.
Sure, DeChico has some family and friends in the building. Well, you mentioned it, from Guelph, Ontario, played his junior lacrosse KW before moving to Victoria, and since then, great chance by Wilson there. Since then, though, he's won a Junior A championship in the BCJALL, and then now a WLA championship. The guy is just staying winning.
Also competed on the international stage in Ireland a couple of years ago.
Yes, he did.
Went to Limerick. That's where I first got acquainted with him. And that team was riddled with talent. I believe Josh Ferry was on that team as well. Here's Marshall King looking for some space. Gets it up top. A Chief has lost his helmet, had to go to the bench. And now a penalty coming up here against Six Nations, as the shot clock will expire, and an extra hack on the near side by Tyler Biles, and the fans are not happy.
Six Nations bench isn't happy either. As Coach Tavares trying to get a word with the official here. As I think the big thing they're really upset with, we'll see, where is that off ball at? They want the high stick call on Cole there, as he has to go to the bench. We'll get an extended look as that slash is going to come up right there. I don't know about that, Mark. But nonetheless, the officials have a better look than us. Victoria going to see if they can stop this run from Six Nations.
Jeremy Thompson will sit for 2. Marshall King fakes it over, gets it to Jesse. Jesse with a shot. That one goes wide. Rebound, Kyle Rubish will pick it up. Up the floor it goes. Too far for Bell. Can he get to it? No, he's just going to hold off.
And smart play by Bell. He probably was going to lose that loose ball battle. Instead of extending yourself and force numbers the other way, punt the loose ball, get back on defense, worry about the penalty kill.
Wilson into the corner for Peterson. Here's Jesse King, the captain, to Marshall. Shot stopped. And the Chiefs will pick it up. Up the floor here for Justin Martin.
That's a great scissors play. You see the two crease players come up, set those hard seals on the top of those two players on the top of the penalty kill. Frees up space for King. He's just not able to beat the belly of Doug Jamieson.
Right into the belly of Iroquois there. The shot taken by Lyle Thompson. 45 seconds left in the penalty to Jeremy. 13:35 to go here in the third. Victoria leading by 2. Marshall King for Wilson. Fakes it, gets it over for Jesse. Jesse King looking, winding, shooting, scores! Oh, captain, my captain, Jesse King, a power play goal. It's 9-6 Victoria.
Jesse King says, all right, that's enough, little brother. I got to get in on the scoring here. This is a power play marker. Again, great hard seal from Casey Wilson. Sets it, gets his feet planted, and just gives enough space for King. Scores his first of the game, had 3 helpers. Goes barred down. Cuts that 2-goal run by Six Nations.
So how will the Chiefs respond here? Loose ball, great aggressiveness there, but Kellen LeClaire takes his man out of the play and allows the Chiefs to get the ball.
A couple of really big face-off wins by Tim Edwards as well. Able to get that possession. I know there's a big debate. Face-off matter in the box lacrosse game. As this game goes on, those possessions are huge.
Cody Jamieson now in behind the net. Inside shot by Randy. And there's one player down. Slow to get up there was Derek Lloyd. Gets a hack in there on Jamieson. Meantime, here's Dane Smith. Can't get the full shot on net. Smith recovers though. Up for Cody. Shot misses the top corner. Now McDonald. Back here for Dodds.
Great play by Denton McDonald to get that ball up the floor. Over to the offense. McDonald, another one of these 2004 draft eligible players.
As it looked like there, as Pickup was getting mobbed there by Tyson Bell in the crease.
Pickup did a real nice job beating Bell underneath. I don't think Bell liked that very much.
No, he did not. Shot there by Randy Stotts. It's going to go wide. 8 on the shot clock. Shane Jackson one hands it over and can't get it cleanly to McLaughlin, and Victoria will get the ball. 11:40 to go here in the third. Game 1 of the Mann Cup. Game 2 will be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Same place, same channel. Shot off the iron and out of play. A rifle shot there from Jesse King.
I tell you, if King's stick starts to heat up, this could be big problems here for Six Nations.
Peterson for Gauthier. Inside, backhand shot there by Marshall. Oh, if that one went in. Jeremy Thompson now the other way. Shot, low shot, and it's going to be stopped by Iroquois and bounce all the way back to Kellen LeClaire. Lyle Thompson into the corner for Dane Smith. For Cody Jamieson. Runs out of real estate. And that one's going to be picked off. Up the floor it goes. Smith looking, shooting. Dougie didn't see where it was, but he made the save.
Another chance in transition for Smith. This time he elects for the shot on the run as he felt Lyle Thompson on his trail.
Cody up for Longboat. Longboat inside. Lyle Thompson scores! Lyle's got a hattie. 9-7. With just over halfway to go in the third period. A big goal and a big time for the Chiefs.
Longboat and Thompson have been absolutely cooking in the two-man game. That's a great fake pick. That little slip. Thompson goes in, looks like he's going to set the seal. Instead, he slips to the middle, and a perfectly feathered ball right into Lyle Thompson. Thompson realizes he's running out of space, throws that sidearm, beats O'Riglieri, and once again, Six Nations replies. Are they able to hit that other counter punch and continue to climb in this, or is Victoria going to stop the bleeding here?
A 5-point outing for Lyle Thompson. He's leading the way. And how about Travis Longboat? 2 goals, 2 helpers, 4 points for number 91.
He has been so vital to this team. 2 goals, 2 assists, a boatload of loose balls. We saw him have a breakout season with Albany this season in the NLL. He has just taken that opportunity and ran with it here with the Chiefs.
Cody Jamieson passing it over. Dane Smith finds his bit of space. Lyle with a shot, he scores! It's a 1-goal game, and Lyle Thompson's leading the charge.
I have no idea how defenders can deal with Dane Smith and Lyle Thompson in the two-man game. Dane Smith, you gotta respect him when he takes it to the net, but as soon as he cuts on a dime, throws that flip pass to Thompson, and Thompson unloads his 4th goal of the game. He's up to 6 points. And don't look now, but Six Nations just trails by 1.
Don't change that dial. Still a load of lacrosse remaining here on a Friday night. DeChico will hold on to it. Here's Wardle. As Victoria looking to press. Looking for double digits. Jesse King finds a lane. Can't get the shot away though. Good defense. Almost intercepted. There's a one-hopper. It goes up high. It'll be the Chiefs to get the ball back here. That is a big turnover on possession here for Six Nations.
Great
to continue
closeout.
this on.
My apologies there. Great closeout by Bomberry. He's able to get on Dodds right away. Don't pick up that loose ball. Bomberry's a guy that's played a lot of offense in the National Lacrosse League, but here he recognizes, all right, he's going to go back, play a defensive role in transition, and he's accepted that challenge.
Eli McLaughlin trying to get around Ward. McLaughlin stays to the outside for Randy. Here's Dane Smith now. Smith trying to find some space, and that one's set wide, and it'll go out of play.
Just 1 assist for McLaughlin so far in this game. Certainly a quiet night for his capabilities, but it's been other things that he's doing. He's getting loose balls. We saw him break up that breakaway chance as well. That's this thing with this Chiefs team. They have so many talented players. They don't care who gets the goals. They don't care if they don't get theirs. They just completely buy in, and you're seeing it here.
Matthew Gauthier got it over, and save there made by Doug Jamieson yet again. One-hand pass for Larson Sundown on the near side. Passing it over. Lyle Thompson, the hot stick. One-hands it. Gets through the slot. It's going to be picked up by Longboat. Shot from a sharp angle by Sundown, trying to just reset that shot clock, maybe look for a rebound, but Victoria is going to get the ball here. Up by 1 with 7:40 to go in the third. Jesse King into the corner. Twisting and turning is Cole Pickup for Dodds. To the near side, Peterson looking for some space, and Dougie Jamieson shuts him down on the short side.
I know there's not a lot of clock left there for Peterson. I love the inside roll. Takes the cage, take maybe 1 or 2 steps across the crease, use that to your advantage and finish on top of there. Instead, he kind of throws a bad angle shot. Didn't realize, or don't think he realized how much time he had on the clock.
Dane Smith's shot, Origlieri had that wooden stick right between the legs, and there was nowhere to go with that shot. Wardle on the near side. Almost getting it over the head of Gauthier, but he's able to get the ball. Marshall King now up inside, shot. Dougie Jamieson stands tall again.
That's a couple of chances now for young Casey Wilson. Not able to finish on top of the crease there. Doug Jamieson up to the task.
Cody now takes a stick up high, still has the ball though. Randy Stotts out inside, shot. Origlieri with the save. Here's Phillips. Both of these two teams going back and forth, looking to draw first blood here in this best of 7. Juking around there was Cole Pickup, in for Dodds. Doug Jamieson with a shoulder save.
There's that chance for Dodds. He goes over the top and takes that hard shot, just not able to tickle Twine there. That's what you want to see if you're a Victoria Shamrocks fan. Dodds got to use that big body, get to the middle of the floor, get on top side, and take those chances.
Lyle Thompson for McLaughlin, shot. Origlieri with another save. Outlets it up. Finds DeChico. DeChico in, and it's stopped by Dougie Jamieson yet again.
Absolutely clinical between these two goaltenders. 29 saves now.
Another to add to the total there is Origlieri. Stops his man on that last attempt. Randy Stotts now. Runs out of real estate, gets it up for Smith. Smith with a shot, and there's a man down, and it looks like it's Marshall King. And that is not good if you're a Victoria Shamrocks fan. We'll see what happened here.
Oh, that's just a hard cross check. Looked a little high by Lionel Thompson. Went to set. We're going to get a good look. Oh, we just missed that out of our screen. I do believe that's Derek Lloyd. Still, nonetheless, don't want to see that as he heads right down the hall to the dressing room. Lyle Thompson has won about a bajillion sportsman-like awards in the National Lacrosse League. He's not the player that's going to throw a high hit like that, a dirty off-ball check. I think he just gets his stick, it rides up and hits Lloyd up high. Nonetheless, could have still been a penalty. I just don't think there was any ill intent from Lyle Thompson here.
Just trying to play aggressive. It's an aggressive game for a reason. Marshall King now with it. Up top, Pickup. Trying to get this loose ball. Both teams fighting for it. Right in the Chiefs zone. Shamrocks get the ball. Aggressive defense here for Chiefs. Getting into the corner, and they pick up the ball.
Absolutely suffocating from the teal jerseys. It is just, we talk about how many studs there are up front. How about on a defense where you can throw a double team with Steve Priolo and Kyle Rubish? Unbelievable. Great two-man slide and recovery there.
Longboat was trying to scoop up that rebound, but Origlieri will get to it. Phillips. Peterson. Up for Gauthier. Into the corner. Twisting back around is Wardle. Wardle looking, waiting, shooting, stopped by Jamison. Rebound, still loose, and it'll be the Chiefs. Great presence of mind by Tim Edwards to get that ball.
Tim Edwards, one of those hard-nosed players on this Six Nations team. He's not just a face-off guy. He'll log some serious minutes. Great hustle play from the Buffalo boy.
Inside, Sundown. Stopped again by Chris Origlieri.
There have been 3 chances now for Sundown with that exact same set piece. Gets him to the wrong side of the floor. He just has not been able to convert on that twister.
Under 3 minutes to go here in regulation. The Shamrocks with a 1-goal lead. What action in game 1 of the Mann Cup, live from Six Nations.
And Six Nations defense really kicking it up here in the third period. Great awareness to break up that off-ball set pace. Allows the offense to get to work to try to tie this game up with just over 2 minutes to go.
Inside, McLaughlin shot, and Origlieri with the save. He's able to get the ball too. I like that from Origlieri as well, as immediately sees that ball, traps it, and immediately sets the tone.
Yeah, he has such good rebound control.
Peterson has to twist back around. 13 on the shot clock, back to DeChico.
Smart play by Peterson. He saw some daylight, recognized his time on the clock.
King with a shot, stopped by Jamison. Here comes Brendan Bomberry. Inside shot, and that one just missed. Bomberry gets the rebound. Over, inside, Bomberry in, and that one stopped by Origlieri yet again.
An absolute game saver from Origlieri. Pipe to pipe, denies the backdoor look.
Cody Jamison, 18 on the shot clock. A lot of time to work with there. Jamison shot, Origlieri with the save. Rebound is going to be moved up here by Victoria.
Absolutely unflappable. The young goaltender, calm, cool, and collected.
Marshall King up here for Peterson. Under a minute to go in the third. Victoria looking to strike first on the road. Marshall King. 2 on the shot clock. One hopper's going to go wide. The rebound's going to be picked up by Six Nations. And the whistle's going to go, and it looks like a timeout's going to be taken here by John Tavares.
Get the timeout here with 38.1 seconds to go. Doug Jamison going to head to the bench. They'll get the extra attacker. We've seen Six Nations so deadly with the man advantage. This isn't a power play, but still, they'll have one extra man on the floor, 6-on-5 opportunity. You don't have to go quickly here, but there's got to be a little bit of sense of urgency. 8 seconds in between here as we get a look at some of these goals here on this run. Lyle Thompson, 4 goals for him, 2 assists. And he's basically put the team on his back in this third frame, Mark.
He really has 3 goals in this third frame alone in the span of about 7 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, just the way he's been able to just work the floor. It's been his floor, and everybody else is just watching.
And it feels like the defense has picked up from that energy from Thompson. They've kicked up their play. How many caused turnovers did we see in the last 5 minutes there? As we'll see Six Nations get to work with the extra attacker.
Dane Smith inside shot. That one goes wide. Rebound is going to be put into the possession of Victoria, and now they have the timeout.
And that's the look they wanted. That's the set play. They set that hard seal on the other side. It frees up Jackson, who gets the ball in the middle. He gets that shot off. But a great job by the defense of Victoria. They collapse. We'll get a great look here. Here comes, you can't see it off ball. There's a cross crease pick. And I can't see who that low defender is there that it comes in for that slide, gets that stick there, but it's a great seal to free up the space for Jackson. Luckily for Six Nations, 24.6 seconds here. They're going to have to force out, press this ball, try to get it back. They won't be able to call a timeout. It's going to have to be quick here. But Victoria obviously has a play where they're going to either try to get that ball over half, long bomb it to the crease, but we see Six Nations with the extra attacker here. They're going to try to double this ball right away.
Smith and Cole both deep in Victoria territory. That ball is rolled all the way down the floor. It's a loose ball. It's going to be Six Nations to pick it up. 15 seconds to go. They got to move here. Smith back here for Jackson. Back to Smith. He gets knocked down. Loose ball. And it's going to be Victoria looking to pick it up. Scrum play in the corner. And the horn's going to go. Six Nations runs out of room. But the feistiness picks up after the horn to end game one.
What a play from Bennett Smith. Comes out hard on that slide and knocks down one of the best players on the planet in Dane Smith. Jars that ball loose to ensure his team can pick up game number one in enemy territory. Just an unbelievable, valiant effort from top to bottom with this Victoria team. O'Reilly was brilliant. Marshall King was unstoppable. And then, of course, young defenders like Bennett Smith, Trent DeChico playing with their hair on fire. An unbelievable effort from this Victoria team to start the series 1-0.
Game two will be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And again, you touched on it, Pat, the different contributions from all of these players. Marshall King, 6 goals and a helper. Jesse King with a goal and 3 helpers. Clark Peterson, Matthew Gauthier, both with 3 assists as well. All across the board, the Victoria Shamrocks getting the job done, as Lyle Thompson's going to get a player of the game honor here for the Six Nations Chiefs. And why not? On the other side, 4 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah, he was lights out, especially in that third period, 3 goals. But I think we know who's going to be the player of the game, as Marshall King was just the catalyst, the X factor here tonight. 6 goals, 1 assist. But Marshall King said it. They were not worried about the way that Six Nations was going to play. They know they're a good team. They know themselves in that locker room. They're a good team as well. They played to the way that they want to play. And that's a big reason why they came out with a big victory here. Go up 1-0. But as we know, the Mann Cup, it's a long series. That's a very talented group of the Six Nations. They have been here before. They have felt this adversity. Game 2 could not be more pivotal with the way this series is going to go.
The way this heavyweight tilt was, framed over the last number of months, undefeated season after against undefeated season, a battle of titans. You knew this series was going to go a long way, and well, Victoria is able to strike first. We're going to go downstairs. Daryl Smart is now with the captain himself in Jesse King.
Thanks a lot, Mark. And Patty, with me, Captain Jesse King. Big Game 1 victory for you guys. This has to be huge for you.
Yeah, I think it means a lot to us, obviously. Getting the first one in, at an away game in the Mann Cup is always really important. I just think what we did, we should be so proud of tonight, and try and carry that momentum into tomorrow night because it's a quick turnaround.
And it's not an easy thing coming from the plane. I know you've had a couple of days. How have you and your teammates acclimatized yourself, especially for the time zone?
Yeah, I think just spending some time together, some lunches, some dinners, getting some naps in, obviously, where they're needed, and then, you know, our team staff is phenomenal. They've been out and getting us all the materials and the Gatorades and the food that we need, and they've been phenomenal all year, and we would be nowhere without them. So we have them to thank for setting everything up for us. You know, our assistant GM, our GM, they've done a great job getting us prepared for what we needed to do tonight.
And obviously your brother had a fantastic game. He was huge tonight. But what can you say about your goaltender, Chris Ogliari? He was amazing tonight. He had some huge stops and some key moments.
Yeah, Riggs is our backbone back there. You know, we got a pretty young defense with a couple of veteran guys sprinkled in there. And then, you know, and Chris is so calm in the net, his demeanor is so calm, and being able to see him settle in and make those saves, it really helps his confidence, and it also helps the confidence of our defense.
How do you guys feed off that sense of calm?
I think you just got to celebrate those little things when you have the opportunity. You know, I said we're saying it all game when we're on the bench. Riggs is making a save. We're getting on the bench, celebrating that. The defense, you know, when they're picking up loose balls, we're trying to get on the board, celebrate those little things. Because in an arena like this, with when you got the crowd that's very much against you, you have to get loud for yourself and try and create that adrenaline on your own. And when you're able to celebrate those little things like that, it's a huge support.
Thanks a lot, Jesse. Good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for the interview.
No problem. Thanks.
Back to you, Mark and Patty.
Thanks so much, Daryl. And, well, Pat, final thoughts on this one. As, you know, for my part, you look at the back and forth that you saw in the first period. You knew this was going to be a tilt. Last swing is going to win. Victoria takes that second period, really gets a grasp on it. Marshall King takes over the game. How about Lyle Thompson getting in on that third period march to try to bring Six Nations back? But you got to love the resolve in the end from the Victoria Shamrocks to really just shut it down in the end.
Unflappable. I used it a few times describing the play of young Chris Origlieri. The calm, cool demeanor that he had in between the pipes was just infectious, from the defense to the offense. They never felt like that there was any sort of panic in that lineup. Like, let's remember, this is a team that ran the table in the WLA. The first time a team went 18-0, undefeated. One of the best teams we've seen come from the West in many years. They only lost 2 games in the playoffs as well. This is not a David versus Goliath. This is a very talented Victoria group. They played to their game plan. They came up. They replied. You mentioned it. The reply, the resolve, the fact that they never panicked, that was huge. They're going to need that resolve, because if you thought Six Nations was fired up in that third period, look out. Game 2, they're going to come out, really try to set the tone.
And it's a real quick turnaround, as King had mentioned there. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Game 2. No rest for the wicked. A little bit of a skirmish at the end of that third period. We got ourselves a series.
We certainly do, and I think we should have expected it. These are 2 great teams, a combined 45 wins for both sides throughout the entire summer. I think we're in for a long series. I know a lot of people thought maybe this would be short work for Six Nations. Give your head a shake, because these are 2 quality teams. I think we're in for an absolute classic, but expect that counterpunch from Six Nations tomorrow. I imagine we might see some lineup changes as well. This is a long series. That is going to be a huge play. Who has more depth? Who is able to find the right chemistry with adding new guys in? Because let's be honest, the young legs are with Victoria, so I think Six Nations are going to have to insert some guys in the line. Maybe Anungo Thompson. We see him out the back door tomorrow night. Brad Curry, we know he's away right now due to some work commitments, but if he can get back in the lineup, that's another extra guy, an extra body.
Victoria's got the front foot forward. They lead this best of 7, 1-0. Game 2 tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific for our friends tuning in from the West Coast. Hope you can join us. This has been a presentation of the Mann Cup here on Cable 14. We will see you back here at the ILA tomorrow night.